night sweat, screaming in the rain. Every loss cuts like a blade. Hope rises, then fades. Life of a Raiders fan, living for the heartbreak man. Win or lose, it's who I am. Life of a Raiders fan. Sunday morning start with a prayer, end in despair, but I'm still there. Flags fly high, penalties rain down, refs smiling while we drown, but the shield shines bright in the dark. It's my light. Oh, life of a Raiders fan, living for the heartbreak man. Win or lose, it's who I am. Life of a Raiders fan. Vegas lights, Oakland ghosts, living on memories we toast. The pirate soul, it never dies. Through the losses, through the lies. Ooh, yeah. Black and silver bleed in my veins. Cold night sweat, screaming in the rain. Every lost
What is up, Raider Nation? How you doing tonight? Hey, welcome to Raider Nation. Show me your shield. This is our first episode, and I say we because I have a partner backstage waiting to join me up on stage. But before we get started, let's be real right out the gate. This fan base is tired of the mistakes, tired of the excuses, tired of the same explanations that we get week in and week out. Tired of hearing, we'll fix it next week, or I didn't expect that. We prepared all week. Well, I call BS. Raider Nation is tired of this stuff, and we're gonna dive into it a little bit more tonight on our first episode. But for the most part, this show is intended to create a lot of harmony within Raider Nation because, let's face it, that's who we are. I'm going to introduce myself first. I'm Jason, Raiders First Downs, and this show is about calling out exactly how it is, man. Not how we wish it was. We'll dive into lots of opinions. We're going to have debate. A lot of chat stuff going to be going on. But before we get started, let me introduce my co-host. None other than the one and the only. Oh, Price a little bit smarter than me, but not by much. Duncan. Welcome, my brother. How you doing?
Doing good. Just ready to talk some Raiders football.
Yep. We're gonna be doing a lot of that. There is no doubt about that. The next 6 months are gonna be long, man. Long. I mean, we got 3 games left. Plus, we got the whole off season. We know there's going to be a lot of turmoil, a lot of turnover. Once again, and I don't like it, but that's where we're going. You know. So tonight we're going to be breaking down what has gone wrong, what has to change immediately. I personally think nothing immediately is going to change. We're going to be the same for the next 3 weeks. How do you change that, Duncan? How do you change that?
I mean, you don't. There's 3 weeks left.
Yeah.
It's like front office is already looking at college players, seeing all the needs that we need. We got, what, 3 players that are guaranteed safe? 4 players, if you count our punter.
Yeah.
We need a lot of turnover, and it's not just the players that need the turnover, it's the coaches too.
Yep. I think a lot of the questions that are being asked out there, and one real common that everybody has been asking is this team actually building something today, right? Are we building something, or are we just spinning our wheels again? Because the next 3 games are going to expose a lot of everything that we've gone through. It's going to expose our coaching, our leadership, the identity. What kind of identity do we have? There's no more hiding any of that stupidity. There's no more moral victories. Okay. We're tired of that stuff. Okay. It's time to get back to where we came from. And that's commitment to excellence and just win, baby. Those just aren't bumper sticker slogans. Those are Al Davis imprinted that for a reason. It wasn't just a put on a t-shirt. It wasn't just a put on a banner. It was actually meant something. When you walked in the building, it was supposed to mean something. And I don't think anybody in this organization today believes in that.
No, we've been long gone from success for anybody to really truly believe in that in the building.
Yeah.
But got to start building from somewhere. And we got great talent in Brock Bowers, Ashton Genty, got some young guys from this last 2 drafts. Jackson Powers Johnson and Miller are hurt, and they'll be coming back. So we have some pieces, but ultimately it's up to that front office to keep building a foundation for us to find a recipe of success. And we got to find the coaching that's going to lead us there.
Yeah. Yeah. And this isn't going to be solved overnight. I don't foresee us having any success. Any success for the next couple years, but we need to see progress, right? We need to see progress. So, I mean, let's before we get started going too far, let's dig into the chat real quick. Looks like 5. Hey, for being 10 minutes into our first show, 5 people. That's what it is. That's what it is. But we're gonna take this bigger and better, and we're in that community. Me and you are in that community, so it's up to us what we do with this show, right?
Yep.
So we're gonna start out with Robert Pena in the house. That's my guy, Robert Pena. Shout out to him in the chat. Let's see who else we got. Let's see, Jack Gustav Vest. On words, but I like it. I still think Dixon's got the best one, but hey, we'll take yours. And Billy Hackett, if it's the same Billy Hackett I'm thinking of, is one of the guys that I went to school with a long time ago. If it's the same guy, man, it's been a long time, brother. But welcome to the show, man. We're talking a little Raider football here.
We also got Raider OB from the Discord.
Excellent. Yeah, now's the time for our Discord guys to come in here and spout it off. You know what I mean?
Just like this guy. Next effect, also from the Discord.
Yep. All right, we are straight up stuck in a cycle of mediocrity, and the sad thing is it comes from the top. Mark Davis, hopefully now with Brady getting ready for his sophomore year, he will learn. I myself, I don't think we should be putting all of our eggs in a basket with Brady. What about you?
I mean, until he stops having multiple other jobs, I don't think we can.
Yeah.
The guy's busy living his life, making his own money right now. I don't see how it's possible for him to be fully committed to the Raiders while he's commentating and doing all these different shows and commercials and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And I totally agree. I mean, it just you can't be a part-time Warner. I mean, you might have been the GOAT as a quarterback, but you ain't proved nothing is a front office executive. So there's a big difference between the two. A lot of these guys think they can step off the gridiron and straight into a shirt and tie job and be successful when that's not the case. These guys that are behind the door, in the office, or what I would like to call mahogany row, because they got all the nice furniture in their office. They're the ones that have the expertise on how to build and how to push the football operations down, up, and make us successful. Coach Al Davis used to say, I'll get the players, you coach the team. That's how that works. But he could do it. Now we'll dive into it a little bit later. There's a lot of you newer Raider fans probably don't realize what it was like in the older days coming through. That there's a time that we were tired of what Al Davis was doing, because it was like, you need to hire a GM, you need to hire a GM, and he wasn't ever going to do it, because he was a coach, he was a scout, he was a general manager, owner, one-time commissioner, and he wasn't gonna relinquish that. So, you have anything else to discuss about Mr. Brady and what's your opinion? What we should do?
Not really on Brady. I mean, there's not much to say about him. And we can hope that he does have a little bit of a hand in it, so then that way he can learn and help build the team eventually. But as of right now, I can't think the team relies on him. I think they're going to have to focus more on listening to Spytek, because he's the man they put in charge of that front office. And he's going to have to carry that backpack of this terrible team right now.
Yeah. What up, Chris? Welcome, man. I truly think that the hierarchy of our organization should go to traditional and what's common. Get an executive football, director of football operations to oversee the general manager, who then oversees the coaching staff and the players and the transactions. And be that go-to between the general manager and the owner, because I think when it goes from owner to general manager, the conflict could be too easy and too quick. Same with the coaches, and definitely with the players. If the players skip all of the hierarchy of the chain of command and go to the owner, it just creates a great dissension. And that's one of the problems we had back in the 90s. Is people would just go around the coach and staff and go straight to the owner with their complaints, and we can't have that. It's time to address the exact hierarchy and how we should be built.
Well, we're always going to have a little bit of that, because Mark wants to be involved with the players. I mean, that's what he grew up with, was being involved, talking to the players, and making friends with them. So that's always going to be a little bit of a thing.
Yeah. But to be quite honest with you, because he had a really good relationship with Clip Branch, but I don't think they really beat each other. I don't think they probably talk casual football, but but then again, when Mark first inherited the team, he always had Raiders players right next to him, feeding him information, And so, like what I said earlier, sometimes just because you were good in between the lines of a football field doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a good GM or an executive in this league. So,
yeah, but I have some optimism just on the front office side of things, just because of how many big names they brought into it. Mm-hmm. Like, they've stolen people from Tampa Bay, the Eagles, one of the right-hand men of the Broncos organization. Like, mm-hmm. There's some hope in that front office, and mm-hmm. we're going to have to give them at least 2 more off seasons to really see what direction things are going in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think Spytek really didn't have a whole lot of time to assemble his strategic team in the from the executive side. So he's gonna need a little bit more time, and I think a lot of that, we criticize him about his choice of free agency and what he did in free agency and how he went about the draft. A lot of that has to do with the fact that he really wasn't on the job long. I mean, literally, he got the job, and the next day he was on an airplane to the Senior Bowl. When his plans were he was going to go to the Senior Bowl as an executive for Tampa Bay. Now he's going from Oakland, and I'm pretty sure they didn't let him have all of his notes and resources from Tampa Bay to take with him. So he's having to start from scratch when he gets to the Senior Bowl and starts to process all the college prospects and start building, categorizing and grading and all that stuff with the new guys coming out of college. So he basically had to start from scratch. Let's face it. That's what he had to do. And then he's having to rely on the previous regime's scouting department to help him.
Now,
so
I want to come back to what Bill said, but while we're on the topic still, both Next Effect and Raider OB brought up how they think it's more of a Pete Carroll controlled offseason, where it might be Pete Carroll's ego versus Spytek's needs on wanting to build a roster slowly and steadily.
Yeah.
And I mean, when shit's hitting the wall like it is this season, we're never going to know exactly what it is because fingers are going to be pointing. Just look at the Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll thing. This whole time we thought Chip Kelly was leading that offense, and then rumors started circling around that, oh no, Pete Carroll after week 2 started putting his hands in the system more and more. And then that last week that Chip Kelly was with the team, that looked absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
That did not look like a Chip Kelly offense at all.
Yeah. Do you condone a head coach being like that with the offense?
100%. Ultimately, it's his job and his team.
So it's his responsibility. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So when he adds those ingredients to the recipe, if it turns out like crap, he owns it, right?
Yeah.
He's got to own it.
I mean, he has to. I mean, that's ultimately what he does with firing Chip Kelly is it's his offense now, basically, even though he's not the true play caller.
Yeah.
But going back to building the team, though, since that's the direction we were heading, Bill Hackett says, start with the big guys, build the offensive and defensive lines, and then the backers. Make Genty's job easy, like it was for Emmitt Smith back in the day. I like to see more SEC and Ohio State players.
Yeah.
And that's a great formula. Take from those big schools that just find talent like no tomorrow.
I think the Big Ten produces better offensive linemen, though.
I agree. I mean, shoot, Iowa's a lineman factory.
They had 3 All-Americans. That was crazy. I saw that when I saw the list come out. All 3 of them. I mean, they're good players. Don't get me wrong, but I was like, whoa.
Well, on top of the 3 All-Americans, their center won the Remington Award. Best center in the nation.
Yeah. And
then they also have I think it's their right tackle that's also going to be coming out in the draft this year, and he's a mauler.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with Big Ten on the offensive line. Defensive line, you can kind of find them everywhere, but SEC is probably more solid.
Yeah, SEC, especially Georgia. It seems like the Philadelphia Eagles' whole defensive front line is from his
Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it'll be interesting to see this last draft that we had and then this following draft to see kind of what direction we go. Because just following that, we're going to see more evidence of, was this last draft more Pete Carroll pushed, or was it a mix of Carroll and Spytek? Just based off the types of players we draft. Because this last draft, we brought in a lot of super athletic projects that were tall and physical. And prime examples are Thornton and Porter. Tall, fast, lanky guys. And to me personally, that's more of a Pete Carroll wish list right there.
Yeah.
And he likes the run game, and we didn't really have a running back, and Genty was an easy picking right there at 6. So as of right now, I think it was more of a Pete Carroll pushed off season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the Genty pick at 6 was more spy tech, but I think the consensus in the building in and of itself was that's where they were going anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the perception was of the new regime or this regime that came in and through the back doors was the significant part of our lack of run game last year was due to the fact we didn't have a quality running back. So I can almost assure you, they assumed the majority of the offensive line that we had from last year would be sufficient this year, that we just had to add a dynamic running back to figure that out. Which, guess what? Nope, didn't work. Scratch that theory.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to know exactly where our offensive line is other than it looking terrible right now, because based off of the second half of last season, it looked like we had an okay offensive line where we had two definite needs at both guard positions.
Yeah.
Then this offseason, they go and shuffle it around. They left Miller and Glaze alone, but they shuffled that middle around, and it looked absolutely atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
And now it has us questioning if we just need to tear apart the whole offensive line, and Miller's the only safe one. I mean, obviously JPJ is going to stick around, but is he going to play guard or is he going to play center? Because now he's had 2 off seasons with 2 different regimes where they both thought the best move was keep him at guard.
Mm-hmm.
And then Glaze, who before he got drafted, a lot of people thought he would end up moving to the interior, which personally I think is the right move for him because he's got some stone feet, but he's got a lot of power.
Yeah.
And I think he'd be able to open up some holes at that left guard position. So then,
it probably wouldn't be a bad idea before we close out the season to maybe try that. I mean, let's face it, at this point, what's it going to hurt to try something, right? I mean,
right.
Screw it. Kick him down into right guard, move Rogers over to left guard, and then put Grant in at right tackle and see what happens.
Yep, that's a move. That's definitely a move that I think a lot of people that want to see what we got in the rookies would like.
Mm-hmm.
But the question is Grant a future project that's eventually going to replace Miller at left tackle? If so, then they're probably thinking Grant's a swing tackle right now while he trains up.
Yep. And it doesn't hurt to get your feet wet on the right side before you commit to the left side. I mean, a lot of people have done that in the past. I mean, the Chargers did that with Joe Alt last year. They started him out on the right side, and when the left side opened up, they moved him over there where their intentions were. What's up, Raiders OB? No, keep Rogers at right guard. I kind of agree with you on that one, because that's where his study and his focus is right now through his development, as being on the right side. So having said that, I don't disagree with maybe taking Glaze, move him to left guard. Leave Rogers where he's at, because Rogers is going to be a pure guard going forward. The rest of it, as long as he's with us, he's going to be a guard. You know. So, but if you're gonna, if we do think that Glaze could be more potent as a guard interior offensive lineman, now would probably be a good time to experiment with that a little bit. Just give it a shot.
Yeah. I mean, regardless what our current offensive linemen that go into next season are, we need to pick up at minimum 3 offensive linemen. I definitely think we need to get at least 1 free agent O-lineman, whether it be a guard or a tackle, and we need to draft 2. My personal belief is you always draft 2 offensive linemen every single draft.
Oh, at least, yeah.
You got to keep new
even
blood
in the 6th
coming in.
Even 6th, 7th rounds. You get 5th, 6th, 7th rounds, and you get multiple picks in those. So you got 3, 4 picks in the 6th, 7th round. go get you an offensive lineman, and even in your UDFAs, you should target probably at least 2 good UDFAs to bring in, but you never know, they could develop. I mean, there's a lot of starting offensive linemen that were UDFAs that are in the NFL still. So, I mean, I don't know. Next effect, that would allow us to drop Meredith and Parham, I think. I would be more inclined to let Parham go. I think I'd rather keep Meredith. Because I think even Meredith has shown some glimpses this year, but there have been other glimpses you just went, we didn't see that. I just saw a grown man get destroyed.
I'd be a little bit more inclined to keep Meredith around too, but mainly as a guard, because he showed he can pass block really well at left guard last season. I think him playing center is a little too much right now.
Yeah. Nah, I think but also too, if we book him with a couple really good guards, that'll take a lot of pressure off of him as a center too.
That's true, but I mean, looking at the Raiders' history though, is that center has always been a stalwart for our team. I mean, since the 1960s, we had through 2005, we had only 4 centers. Like, they took command of that offensive line, and they were loud and in charge of it. It's like we need to find that one leader that sits in that middle that really controls everything going on.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I think a lot of offensive-minded coaches right now think center is a little bit not as important because they think you could just surround it with talent and it's just fine, similar to how you said. But why do you want a weak link in your chain like that, especially in the middle?
No, and that should be one position. I really, in all honesty, for the longest time, thought the center was just as important as the left tackle. Yeah. When it comes down to it, you're the quarterback of the offensive line.
Yeah.
When you break the huddle and you go up to the offensive line, it's you 5. The other 4 guys are looking to you to set the pace. So it's a very important to have. I mean, you get a stud center and build off of that. We can build a killer offensive line that way.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go back looking at that chat again, catch up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Raider OB posted Glaze played on the left side throughout college. So left guard would definitely be a major consideration if we are moving him to guard. Might be more natural for him. Maybe his footwork is a little sloppy because he's at right tackle.
When you said more natural for him, this brings me to it's in the same realm, especially with offensive linemen. Is that when we draft these guys, if we're drafting them and their natural position, let's say they played their natural position for 2 or more years in college at one specific spot. Okay. And I'll give you an example. You got a guy that was really good at left guard in college for 3 years, made All-American, second team All-American at left guard.
Yep.
And you go into the draft and you draft him. But I'm not going to turn him into a tight end. Okay. I'm not going to turn him into a center. We're not going to have him play quarterback. We drafted him to be the left guard. Right? So do that. And just because every once in a while you get this little creature type habit thing of, well, we can have him do this, or I can draft this running back and turn him into a free safety, because he reminds me of this free safety. He was a running back. Leave him at running back.
Yeah. And sticking on the topic of shuffling the O-line around and see what we got, we still have Lockie Tossie on that practice squad, that protected practice squad position. Mm-hmm. So he'll have one more offseason of guaranteed staying with the Raiders. And maybe he shows major improvement and can take over one of those guard spots. I mean, that'd be awesome if he could. Regardless, you still pick up free agents and draft, but Tossie should definitely be in the mix of trying to compete.
Yep.
Think it's just bad coaching, to be honest. Nepo Baby Carroll has destroyed this line.
Yep.
I mean, it's hard to argue with the results we've gotten.
Yep. And if any of you guys in the chat have ever played sports and played on a team where the coach showed favoritism to a certain person because of their relationship with either the coach or the coach's wife or the neighbor, whatever the relation that special relationship was, and you were on that team and you had no function with that, it affected you. It affected you. And I guarantee you, everybody on that offensive line is like, we can do no right because the offensive line coach, he's just his dad, you know? So,
Yeah.
and then the other
And
coaches see that as well.
And then once those voices start talking, they only get louder and louder. I mean, even if we start finding success, it's still going to be there in the back of the mind. AFC West is getting good again. I feel like the best they'll do the next couple of years is maybe wild card, but a running game, build a running game, one that can run in December in Denver or Kansas City or Buffalo or New England. I mean, definitely. That's the key to success is being able to run up the gut, outside, control that run game in the trenches on both sides of the ball. And it's just, we're going to keep cycling through. We need to build up the trenches because that's how you win football games.
Yep.
You control the clock through that offensive line and defensive line.
Yep. And as we go forward with this show and with other content creator shows for the next 6 months, we're going to push out ideas, and some of them are going to be opinions, some of them are going to be cold hard facts, and a lot of things we can debate on this show. And I'm not going to get too far into the whole draft hype right now, but when we do go into the draft, don't be afraid to draft for every position, because really, in all honesty, the only position that we don't need any help at is tight end. The other 21 positions need help. So,
heck, even our long snapper's not safe.
No, and I think he's a free agent too this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they brought him on in the middle of the season, didn't they? Or no, it's
that was last
same
year.
guy we started with.
Yeah, we started with him.
Yeah.
All right. Next effect, whoever is going to coach the Raiders next year, someone needs to tell JPJ to pay one of the legendary great centers of the past few years to train him so he can get back at center. Yeah. I think the biggest problem is there's not a whole lot of good quality offensive line coaches still out there, at least at the NFL level. There's a few at the college level, but man, those college coaches, they get embedded. The offensive line coaches, they get embedded in college. They don't want to go to the pros because they enjoy the way the fundamentals of teaching and how they get to do it with the younger kids and pushing forward. Now, NIL's kind of changed some of that, but I still think it's going to be hard to find a really good replacement for anybody could replace Brandon Carroll, but we're going to need a good one. We're going to need a good offensive line coach. Let's see. All right, guys, heading out to my final. Here's to a great first episode. I'll catch you on the Rodney's Discord. Sure thing. Next spec. We'll talk at you later.
Good luck.
Brother.
Go ace that final, man.
Yeah. Yep. Don't slouch. You worked too hard to get this one.
I feel we're 3 or 4 years out if we do it right. I mean, that's reasonable. I think if we hit the lotto a couple times, one on the coach, and then hit the lotto on 2 or 3 draft picks the next 2 off seasons, I think 2 is reasonable. But realistically, next year is going to be brutal. Just looking at who we're playing next year, it looks very brutal, but things change every single year, so it may not be that bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, things do change from year to year.
Yeah.
Here's a wild thought. Suppose we interview the coaches, the hot young guys want us to tear down to the studs and trade Max for picks. Do we keep Max or give the coach his way and trade him? A la the Khalil Mack situation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ultimately, if you brought in the coach already, then you chose to trade Max. If that's what he was going to do to begin with.
You got to give him autonomy on that. decision too.
Yeah.
If he comes in and he goes, you know what, I would rather trade for picks than to keep it. And to be quite honest, I mean, we could dog on the Cowboys for trading Micah Parsons, but flipping back and getting Quentin Williams to pair with Kenny Clark, that's a pretty good move, man.
Yeah.
That was
Even not
good.
even not even looking at the injury that Parsons just had. Like,
yeah,
just going back and getting Quentin Williams. Like,
yeah, I was saying that last week. Yeah. That last week I made the same comment that I think it's not great because you're giving, Mike as a generational talent by all means. But you're picking up assets to fill other spots, and, like quote Coach Gruden, edge rushers just don't grow on trees. Wow.
Then why'd you trade them away?
Exactly. So it's a slippery slope we go down.
I mean, you have to have the plan in place on what you're going to do with those picks.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a first round pick and a player, but that player's got to be good enough.
Yeah.
Really miss the tailgates we used to enjoy in Oakland. Yeah.
Oh, man.
We had some fun times.
Yeah. Just the food, the atmosphere, watching kids throw the football around in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Watching the morning games while we have, it was just, I don't know. I think it was, those times are never going to come back. Not in Oakland. And the way they do things now with the football stadium, the tailgating experience will never be the same.
It might not be the exact same, but if a winning culture was brought back and we were able to consistently win, Raider fans will show up. Raider fans always show up. I mean, even with this terrible season, you still see Raider fans in away games. Like, it'll happen.
Yeah.
All aboard Raiders. Fellow Raider YouTuber, go check out his channel. But he says, I want Jay Downs for O-line coach.
Yeah. Yeah. That could happen. Actually, I'd rather be a Utah Jazz coach.
Where's your hat?
Yeah. Where's my Utah Jazz hat. No, not knocking the Utah Jazz. I've always had respect for them.
Trading Parsons seemed to work, but I like Crosby, though. I mean, we all like Crosby. Crosby is a Raider, but ultimately, no Raider is bigger than that shield. And if trading Crosby is the vision that the powers to be think is right, then that's what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the fence on it. I mean, I love Crosby, and he's more than just a good defensive end. He's also that team's leader. So it's twofold on trading him away because you're losing a very big leader for that team.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, what has his leadership brought the team? We're still losing.
That's just it. I mean, because there's different types of leadership, how is he leading? Is he holding people accountable? Instead of just arguing and bickering with them, is he holding them accountable? But leadership takes more than one person, and Max Crosby's only one half of the team. He plays on the left side. Predominantly, he plays on the left side of the defensive line. So what about the right side? What about the right side of the offense? What about the right side of the defense? Yeah. Usually, and if we look back at championship teams, the leadership structure usually starts in the middle of the field. But let's be honest. You go center, quarterback, middle linebacker, strong safety, right? Your really good defenses of the day. Your leadership started at linebacker, and then you had another leader in the secondary. Usually you're strong or your free safety. Sometimes it could have been both your cornerbacks too, where they just use one side of the field or the other to help themselves.
Yeah. No, we're definitely missing leadership on top of players.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're surely lacking talent.
Yeah.
Just our roster is so thin at talent.
Yeah.
But Dark Side OB, 3 years out from what? From one of Bill Hackett's earlier questions, he was saying if we did everything right, he was thinking we're probably 3 to 4 years out from being successful again, which I kind of agree with him. If we hit the jackpot on a few picks and a coach, it's possible 2 years, but guaranteed for sure we're at least one season of having
Mm-hmm.
just a terrible record.
Yeah. Well, I can kind of put it to you this way. The first year, okay, we get a whole new regime, new coaches, we draft, we get our free agents, we start to build the roster. The construction starts to take shape like it's supposed to, and then there's quote unquote a plan in place, and the plan is more than just I can win with this team. No, what is the plan? How are you going to win with this team moving forward? Right. So year one, we should be able to see some symptoms of that. Right. No 31-0 losses. No 31-10 losses where, you know, and then go a whole season. I mean, we scored 29 points one time, and I kind of think that was a fluke in and of itself against the Jaguars.
Yeah.
But, has some type of, let us see that, okay, it's starting to come together year one. Year two, we step into that. Okay, we're here to compete now with what we have. Our young guys, are getting ready to really blossom. That year is going to require us to sign Brock Bowers, okay, and we're going to probably have to consider. Well, Michael Mayer is going to have to be considered as well. Um, Max should be coming off contract then too, or he'll be on a lame duck portion of his contract. So we'll have to address that. He'll be 10, 11 years in the league at that point. So, if we can move on, from Max this year and do it amicably to where both parties agree that that's probably the best course of action and get some semblance of draft capital out of it and put it to good use, so be it. And just like it was said earlier on one of the radio talk shows I was listening to, one of the callers called in, and it's not when you draft, it's how you draft. So I know but we all know that if there's an absolute in the draft, you better have that number one pick.
Yeah, especially on a position as important as quarterback. If they truly think that one of the quarterbacks coming out is that important, they need that number one pick.
Yeah. Christopher Rader, salute, brother. Thanks for coming in, joining us. Play football where the coach started his son at wide receiver. He was the slowest hands of stone wide receiver I've ever seen. Now, I think we're referring to Brennan Carroll. Brennan Carroll played wide receiver?
No, he was talking about your nepotism comments.
Oh, yeah.
About having that favorite player on the team where he's playing regardless of how good he is.
Yep. Yeah, and I saw it when I played high school football. I saw it. That there was a coach and another parent that were really good friends, and that kid got to, and it was like, the hard part about it was the kid was getting annihilated, and it's like, but he still got his helmet stickers, so that's all that mattered, I guess. So. Geomax, welcome, brother. Welcome into the chat here. How does the Wilkins contract affect next year's salary cap?
I believe it doesn't.
I think the Raiders are going to get out from underneath that with cause. Yeah, I really do.
I think they got away from it.
Yeah, especially if there's any insinuation of sexual harassment in that, where it was a cold hard violation of sexual harassment.
Yeah. Raider OB, before you go, if we are 3 years out, then you might want to wait on drafting the quarterback if you want to at least have a foot in the door of contention while your quarterback is on his rookie contract. I mean, I can see the point, but ultimately I think getting that quarterback is the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if he is in this draft, I think you got to take him regardless. But I can definitely see the point of trying to trade back, get a couple more pieces, maybe trade like with the team like the Browns, who have 2 first-round picks, who may be looking at a quarterback. I mean, there's a lot of things we can do once we land at that first overall pick.
Now, let's face it, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, they waited, 2-3 years to get their chance. Patrick Mahomes had to wait a whole year to get his chance. There's if the organization is disciplined, saying we're drafting him because we know he's going to be our future, you have to be disciplined and keep him on the bench. Now, granted, later on in the season, week 7, week 8, whatever, you see a matchup to where you think, you know what, we're going to get this rookie in. We're going to start him and give him a quarter and a half, maybe 2, to see what he can do. Either A, we're out of the playoff picture at the halfway point, like we have been for the last 3 years, or B, we have a little wiggle room to where maybe we can probably play him a little bit and kind of get an idea. And I'm not saying putting him out there for a series, because as far as I'm concerned, having him go out for one series in a regular season game, you accomplish nothing doing that. No. Absolutely nothing. But if you're in a position like with your record and you feel comfortable with the offensive line that we've constructed, because we're going to have to reconstruct that offensive line. That's priority number 1.
Well, Raider OB's counterpoint was that those teams were already established, though. They already had solid teams.
We can still
do agree with that, but I think a more accurate team to compare to our situation might be the Jaguars. Jaguars went and took their quarterback when they didn't have the team, and they continued to build, and they finally hit on the right coach, and now look, they're a winning team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, ultimately, if your guy is there, you take him. Doesn't matter where your team's at. If you think that can be your quarterback of the future, I think you have to take him. And on top of that, look at the Bears. A year ago, nobody wanted to coach the Bears. And then they get Caleb Williams, and now they got Ben Johnson, who was the hottest coaching commodity. It's a big factor having that quarterback. But you also have to have those coaches that want to come in because they think the quarterback you like is the right guy also. So if nobody actually likes Mendoza in the NFL level, then us drafting Mendoza isn't going to help with that coaching search.
You got to pair it up with the right coach, and it has to be that coach that is going to take you into the future. The next coach needs to be a 5-year. It needs to be a 5-year. Now here's Mark Davis's take.
I'm going to interrupt you on that one real quick. 4-year, because you got to match him up with Spytek.
Yeah, with Spytek. I was thinking Spytek had 5 years.
Well, he does, but he has 4 left.
Well, yeah. That's
sorry.
My thought when I said 5, I thought we had 5 left with Spytek, but we only have 4 left with Spytek. So we go a 4-year contract. Now, Mark Davis's expectations of his coaches when he does that, he's done it. When he fired Dennis Allen was because he saw regression, not progression, right? When he fired Jack Del Rio, he used the same excuse, and he did. Jack Del Rio took a team, and in 2 years was dominant in the playoffs, 12-4. You know what I mean? And then the next year they went 6-10, and that's called regression. And when that happens, the coach wants to know. The nugget to that part of it was Mark Davis had been wanting John Gruden for a long time, and he finally got into his ear to come back and coach. And it was like, okay, now that we're 6-10, I can push that coach out and bring John Gruden in, who he wanted to bring in to begin with. Had he been able to get John Gruden out of the booth before he hired Dennis Allen and Reggie McKenzie, then there's no telling what would have happened at that point, right? So, having said that, the next coach, all you have to do is show progression to fit what Mark Davis expects. Just show progression. What this team do? Took a rookie coach's roster and flipped it upside down and lost. Hasn't won as many games.
Bill Hackett, not really concerned who coaches or quarterbacks for a couple of years. Build, get the pieces. Pretty sure Troy Aikman's career was shortened because he was getting floored for 2 years. And yeah, it's going to be a running theme with us on need to improve that O-line, but gotta be able to keep building that O-line once you have an established one. So, I mean, you got to take your quarterback when you can get him, if he's your right guy, and just keep on building that O-line. Raider Jeff, why can I not see you guys? So, actually, on the mobile, you cannot see us. It's just the Raider Nation Show Me Your Shield logo.
Yeah, for some reason, it's not clicking over there, Jeff. If you got any ideas, let me know. But for some reason, it's not broadcasting the vertical. I think it's because I have to broadcast at least one episode solo, and then the next one it'll allow me to do vertical.
I think it's actually my fault because I don't have 50 subscribers.
Well, yeah, I don't either. But
yeah.
I also didn't. I didn't put. I think if I had linked his account, then we would have got the vertical.
Yeah. So on the regular YouTube, you'll be able to see us just fine. It's just the mobile version where you have to hold your screen vertically that you cannot see us. So we'll hopefully figure it out before the next show.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, and Jeff will probably be in here. Are you there, Jeff? Hello, Jeff. 1 2 1 2, Jeff.
Well,
yeah, I'm here. I'm just trying to stay hidden. I don't want to come on screen.
Oh, you can't hide.
If it's something in the settings, I'm trying to help you.
You trying to hide is called a lunar eclipse. All right.
Okay, I didn't come in here to get my balls busted. No,
no, I think what happened, Jeff, is because I didn't use your link, and we have to do at least one show before we can get the vertical.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. Yeah, so next time you do a show, it'll be fine. I should have reminded you of that. You should have done like a 30-second show, so when you came, you'd be fine. But next time you'll be good.
Yeah, I didn't want to do a 30-second show. My wife would have been disappointed. But hey, thanks for coming in. Help us out. And hey, ladies and gentlemen, Raider Jeff in the house. You can't see him, but he's in your heart forever.
I'm in the shadows.
Geomatch 72. 2016, we had 7 Pro Bowlers. Took 3 years to assemble that O-line.
Yeah.
Along with Mike Tice coaching. Yeah. I mean,
and Mike Tice was a good offensive line coach.
You just have to keep investing in that O-line. Yeah. You cannot be content with it.
Yeah. What's up, Bueno? Thank you, sir, for coming in. Appreciate it, my friend. Hey, JD, your normal stream is for kids, so we can't comment. Oh, that's
Jason Downs.
I can only comment on the vertical. I can't comment on the landscape.
Can I change that right now? Go into my settings.
You'd have to go into your YouTube settings in your actual YouTube channel. Hi, Bueno.
So go to customize channel. Let me see if I can get it to. Hopefully it'll fix it. Let's see here.
Hey, Duncan, congrats on the kid, man.
Thank you, sir.
Settings.
Just got home today from the hospital.
Baby's home too? Everything good?
Yep, baby and wife are home. They're both healthy.
How much did he weigh?
For quite a few restless nights.
How much? What was the weight?
7 pounds, 7 ounces.
So that's a good size.
Nice and healthy.
Hey Jeff, where at in the settings is it? Because I don't see it popping up. Permissions.
Now, while these guys are taking care of that, for our show, we wanted to have chat send us some Raider-related questions, as in try to stump us on history of the Raiders. So, for example, first question brought to us by my dad was who was the very first Raider to enter the NFL Hall of Fame. So if you guys have an answer to that, go ahead and post it, and then also post one of your own questions.
Jason, go to your channel with the actual landscape, the big one, and then click on edit. And once you click edit, that screen that comes up, scroll to the bottom, you'll see where it's either should be checked off. It should be checked off. No, it's not made for kids. So click that instead.
On the show itself?
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Bill Hackett saying, sorry to for so many Cowboy references, though I'd be willing to trade Genty or Crosby if it could get a Herschel Walker deal. I mean, it's hard to argue with that.
Okay.
Yes.
Raider OB, you are correct. It is, in fact, Jim Otto, one of the greatest Raiders of all time, and the original GOAT of a center. He held that interior offensive line at the center position.
I'm gonna mute out if you want to hit me up on the phone real quick.
Yep.
Duncan,
right? From 1960 to 1974. He was definitely one hell of a player, and I wish I could have seen him play. Bill Hackett saying, I like Achane and part of their own line and some picks. Gonna pair Achane with Genty, or you're saying trade Genty away for Achane and an O lineman or some picks? But Achane and Genty together would be one hell of a 1-2 combo in that backfield. Now, fun fact about the Raiders and how serious their offensive line was, especially at that center position. From 1960 all the way to 2005, we only had 4 centers. 4. And now we've come to this in the 2000s where we're just constantly rotating and shuffling and, quite frankly, not taking that offensive line as seriously. And it's like many of you in the comments have said, and we've mentioned on here already, that offensive line and defensive line are by far the most important positions on that football team if you want consistency when it comes to winning. As how you control that clock. Yeah, 4 centers. It's amazing how long we went with 4 centers. Bill Hackett said, I was saying to trade for that. So either Genty or Crosby for Achane, part of their offensive line and some picks. Yeah, I mean, that could be very good. I don't really know their offensive line right now off the top of my head, so I would have to look into that more before I made an actual opinion on it. But as long as you're building up that offensive line, I'm usually up for it. Raider OB thinks Miami's having a fire sale next year. I mean, especially if they get rid of their coach and GM, I mean, I think it's going to happen. Every time a new GM comes in, they are cycling through the roster and trying to get as many compensatory picks as they can. I'm not bueno. No more former Dolphins over here. When I was a kid, my favorite poster was Mark Van Egan running the ball behind Art Shell. Yeah, Art Shell is one hell of a tackle. Or was he a guard? Now I'm confused. Don't remember.
Okay, my job is done. I'm out.
Art Shell was the left tackle, right?
Hey, send me the bill, Jeff, when you get it.
401 Raider Jeff saying the chat is
You can't afford me.
Yeah. Now you know why I picked Duncan to help me out.
Moving van on Highway 63.
Oh
yeah, that'd be an awesome poster.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
Art Shell was the left tackle, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Who was the left tackle with Art Shell? Or left guard, I mean?
Gene Upshaw.
Yeah, Upshaw. That was one hell of a combo on that left side.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't matter who you had at running back. You were going to be able to run the ball on that left side.
Yeah. When they ran the infamous 17 Bob Treyo, which is a steadfast running play from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, that when they get out there and they would just literally scare the crap out of the secondary, them coming downhill to block people.
Yeah.
Hey, Bueno, did that fix everything? I got you as a moderator too, Bueno, just so you know. So you got to feel privileged.
Going back to this, the 4 centers in 40 years, who can name the other 3 centers after Otto?
Yeah.
John Vella and Henry Lawrence were on the right side. Yeah. I mean, that offensive line was just immaculate.
Yeah.
I think every Raider fan could dream of having another offensive line as good as that.
Yeah. Another good offensive lineman combination was Mickey Marvin and Henry Lawrence. Henry Lawrence was a beast. He really was. Henry Lawrence was a beast. But Mickey Marvin and Henry Lawrence on the right side, that was a pretty good combination as well.
Yeah. Sacktown Raider Mike. Hey, I can chat now. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have fixed it.
I thought there was some. Just so you know, the first episode, for some reason, I didn't go into the YouTube setting and take the kids part off. So all you adults that come in here and were like, I can't chat. Well, now you know why.
So Bill Hackett is right. Dalby was the center following Otto. Do we know who was after Dalby?
Da 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 da.
We must have sounded damn good if he stayed in here not being able to chat or see us. We might be running him off with your looks, Jason.
Well, hey, when Bueno gets to typing, man, whew, that's going to be bad. It's going to be bad.
Jeff got it. Dalby, and then Mosbar, and then Robbins.
Well, there's a gap between Mosbar and Robbins. Robbins was early 2000, was 99, and Mosbar went down in 93, 94. He went down with a significant eye injury in training camp against the Dallas Cowboys. They were training against the Dallas Cowboys, doing mutual training, and rumor, some people say it was an accident, some people say it was on purpose, but he got his eye gouged like really bad, and that's what ended his career.
To answer Raider OB, I believe Wisniewski was the left guard when he played for us.
Yes, left guard. Yeah, his nephew played center and guard. Stephen, his nephew played center and guard, but he was primarily left guard, and he was just an animal.
I gotta love getting away with stuff. He's blaming you for what was said.
What?
I said what I said about Sacktown Mike. It's all jokes, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, like Jeff said, there was a couple oddities mixed in there for centers, some strange cats.
Yeah, but they got it right very quickly. Like they did not leave that center position barren.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had Dan Turt was one of them. Jeff, about that time, 93, 94, that offensive line went south pretty quick. The entire offensive line in itself. That was a infamous Terry Robisky.
Yeah.
So, anyways, anybody else got any more stump the panel trivia questions? No? Well, they're thinking, because if you saw some of the people that are in the chat, they need a lot of time to think. But while they're thinking, we've got, let's see, we've been on for an hour for our first show, which is probably about 59 minutes longer than most people did on their first show.
We had
let's
some
dive
issues,
into,
but
what's your overall take on this past week's game?
This past week's game?
Yeah.
We need to find every single film footage of it and burn it.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to find anything other than our punter being a redeemable factor from that game.
Yeah.
Like, we couldn't stop the run, couldn't stop the pass.
But we've made up for it by not being able to stop the punt return.
Okay.
That was a famous quote by Coach McVay for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in the day when he was asked about it. We didn't block, we didn't catch, and we didn't tackle, but we made up for it for not tackling. And it was the way he said it. It was just funny, and the reporter's like, it's like,
yeah. Going to file suit against the Raiders for emotional and physical damage from attending that game Sunday. I can't blame you.
Yeah. Your fingers are still
numb.
Yeah. I bet you it was cold.
Do we think that the team quit on Pete?
When?
I don't think they showed up to quit. Gotta show up before you can quit, right?
Yeah.
So
are we talking preseason they quit?
No. They all bought in.
I mean, quite honest with you, I truly thought the Patriots game had some things to it that were like, okay, this ain't as bad as last year. All right, we got something to work with. And then week 2 came, and it was like, yep, nope, don't hold your breath on that one. Here we go.
Unpopular opinion here. I saw a lot of issues that we had on that Patriots game. And It was definitely the Patriots did not play against what we were trying to put on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, we were trying to air raid that, get those deep passes to help open up that run game underneath and get some inside stuff short. And we did not change our game script at all from week 1 to week 2. And it showed, because that's all the Chargers played against, is they did not let the big play happen. And it caused 3 Geno Smith interceptions.
Mm-hmm. Which was the first interception?
The first one of 2.
First play
in a row.
Yeah. Defending champs, even after being scrutinized, are having a down year and light years ahead of the Raiders.
Sorry.
I predicted they were good, that the Chiefs are going to be down this year. I had them going 9-8, 8-9, somewhere in there, which I probably still might be okay on that. But I also had us going 6-8 wins as well, and that ain't going to happen. But yeah, well, I don't remember what your predictions were when we were doing the Discord stuff.
I had us at 8 wins with a possible 10. If just a close game or 2 happened to just land our way. I thought 6 wins at worst, because I thought we were going to have a bit more competitiveness.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it just lack of talent, terrible coaching moves and decisions is just a recipe for disaster.
Art Vandelay, 2669. Yeah, we didn't tackle well today, but we made up for it by not John McKay. There you go. I just remember
not blocking.
Yeah, our blocking. Yeah. This one right here, go Dogs, Billy Hackett. Hey Billy, just out of curiosity, are you from my area? 209?
Yeah, he is. He is.
Now, do you know Billy Hackett?
I do personally, yes.
Okay, I grew up with the Billy Hackett. I wonder if he knows me personally.
Well, I can ask him after the show.
I graduated.
Probably don't want to air it out on a show that's live.
Oh, I don't give a shit. Ceres High School class of 1991. That's why we were dogs. DAWGS. Dogs. We weren't bulldogs. We were dogs.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got us in that, but
yeah, this is show number 1, and we'll branch out a little bit more. There's going to be times where Donuts is going to do the show by himself, or I'll do the show by myself, and we'll bring other fans on and do a lot of Q&A type stuff. We're an hour and 14 minutes in, and about 15 minutes longer than what I was expecting. What about you?
I definitely thought we'd limp to an hour, but I mean, time's flown by.
Yeah, I'm willing to stay in as long as you want.
Oh, I'm having fun. But we should talk about what direction we want to take this show, especially in the off season. Like you mentioned, we do want to bring in fans. So one idea we had is for a single show, we bring in a single fan, let them talk about their Raider fandom, how they became a Raiders fan, their favorite moments, stories they want to talk about, and then pretty much Q&A them about the current Raiders, the direction they want the Raiders to go in, who they want to draft, who they want to bring in from free agency, just other stuff. Because we really want to make this a show by the fans, for the fans, and really focus on positives. Because right now that team's not giving us any positives.
Oh, no. Nope. And it's a crying shame that we get into week 3, week 4, and we're already. I don't know about you, but like with me, I was like, all right, what are we doing next year? Because this is already a bag of. This is a big bag of mess right here.
Thank you very much, Jeff. I appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks,
thank
Jeff.
you, Power Word Moose. Having fun with this first show. And been a very nice interactive chat. We've hit a bunch of different points and a little everywhere, but so is our team.
Yeah. And yes, Series. Yeah. He was a Series High graduate, 1987. That's the year my sister graduated. It was in 87. And the 86 Series High Dogs were some bad motherfuckers, man. Some bad. I mean, you look at that high school offensive line looked like an NFL line, and they all had facial hair. I think Brian Love had more facial hair than you right now, and he was 17 years old at the time. Not Brian Love. Randy. Was it Brian? It was another guy named Brian. It was on the
thank you, Jeff. We'll definitely get those kinks ironed out. It'll just take some time, but we're here to have fun with it.
There's lots of kinks.
Thank you, Sacktown Mike. Don't get too kinky.
No. Don't want to do that. Yeah.
Mr. Yeah. Is there anything else we wanted to talk about?
No, just kind of get out there. I mean, we're looking for looking for some trivia. Get some guys out there. Stump us. See what you can do to stump us. Come up with the question and see if you can stump us. Sacktown Mike, you got one? I know you got one. You've been around, heck, you played high school football with Jesus, so you should have a lot of knowledge.
You probably hunted some dinosaurs.
Yeah. His footballs was, they took a boulder and just chiseled it to make it look like, Brian Love, 6'4", 240 pounds. and he was super fast, and he was like Baby Huey but oh my god, man, it was like I was in the 6th grade at the time, and I just remember looking at those guys going, they're like as big as the Raiders.
Yeah. For those of you watching the show, if you haven't heard of Raider Jeff, 401 Raider Jeff, I suggest going to his channel as well. He does a few weekly live shows that they're pretty dang good, and they're fun to watch. He's got his ups and downs too, but definitely an overall great watch.
Yeah. And then I'm going to start dropping tickers down at the bottom here, Duncan, to kind of show our support for some of the other content creators that we've come in contact with throughout there's and Duncan, if there's any other ones that you can think of, we can create those as well. Go get their URLs. I'm in the ticker below is the URLs for some of these guys that have motivated us to get to this point. Obviously, first show, probably not going to be a big doings, but if you hit that like button and subscribe and all that, the 9 people that are in here, hit those buttons, it'll improve the analytics, and then we'll push out, which in turn helps the guys that I'm going to be talking about as well. So first and foremost, you guys all saw 401 Raider Jeff, the skipper. He's the superstar of this program, and I just want to thank him. Good friend. It's from Rhode Island, but enough said of him. Next, Protect the Shield podcast, Chris. Get over there, check him out. Good content there. Rodney All Aboard. This is how me and this cat met, was through Rodney All Aboard.
Through his Discord.
All Aboard Raiders. Through the Discord channel. He also publishes on Patreon. Go there if you want. Go there. Subscribe to him on Patreon, because on Patreon he gives exclusive content from his angle, and it's really good stuff what he does on Patreon. So kind of get over there and check him out. Next one, 805 Raider. This is my guy right here. Love this guy. Wednesday nights he does film breakdown with people, and he really brings that coaching aspect to it, because he once was a coach. And he's super knowledgeable. He's passionate about these Raiders. Now, you can tell how frustrated he's going to be when he does the all-22 film by the number of beer cans that are stacked up next to him that are empty, because this week here is going to be, you might as well back up the truck to him, because it's going to be a long one.
Yeah, he might as well set up outside of a dumpster so he could just toss them behind his back.
Lunatic from Raider Allegiance. I don't know if have you ever seen him?
No, I have not.
Yeah, you need to clip him. I got the URL in the description below, in the bio of the YouTube channel. Go in there. I put a bunch of links in there for the people that I'm talking about now in the ticker. Click on those, man. Go support their channel. They're the ones that kind of gave me the idea to formulate this. And when I found, we had a discussion in Discord one day, and all of a sudden Duncan goes, "I need to get a channel," and I go, "That's my guy right there."
Yeah.
So
great timing.
I'm the spy tech in finding fellow podcasters. Here's another one for you guys: the Cage Match Show. So this one, Raider Savage and Asylum 77, they put this together on Wednesday nights, 5:00. Really good show, a lot of fun. They add a lot of comedy to it, which is, well, yeah, I love the show, man. Older guys, Asylum's old school, and so it's a good show. So any of you guys want to get some good content, go check them guys out. Severe Raider, he's another one. Him and 805 and Chris from Protect the Shield podcast, they get together. They're together on Wednesdays. Severe, it's funny, is sometimes I watch Severe, and I'm like, I swear I just said the same thing 5 minutes ago. When I was having a conversation off YouTube, away, not in the chat or anything, just talking to a friend or whatever, and it's like, man, it almost sounds like me, but except for he doesn't have that country twang voice like I do, I guess. So But he's a good dude, man. Smart, knowledgeable, passionate Raider fan, which is what we all like, and so on and so forth. Avocasi Raider right here in the ticker. I'm going to leave this ticker up for a while. This is our brother from down under. He was just here in the United States. He went to the Chargers game and the Broncos game and had a really good time. We're glad he got to come and experience that over here in the homeland where football rocks. So, having said that, let's get back into whatever we want to talk about. If anybody's got any questions in the chat,
Sacktown Raider Mike had a stumper question.
All-time leader for linebacker for sacks. That's difficult because some people played linebacker and defensive end. So how do we break that down?
I would say as long as they recorded sacks and had the linebacker position, that is what you
at the linebacker position. I would say Khalil Mack would probably have to be the all-time linebacker.
I'm also going to post Raider OB's TikTok. He was on the chat earlier.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good guy. I've had tons of discussions with him, especially this past 2 or 3 weeks, about players to look out for the draft.
Yeah. And he'll get real heated and lathered up.
He goes through and he watches game film about players.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll find the good games that they had, and then he'll watch the whole game through.
Yeah.
And he really goes and does his research on those players.
Yeah, and we hope one day to have him on the show as well.
Yeah.
Have him come on live with us. We'll throw him a link, and he can join us and really bless us with his knowledge firsthand, up front, personal. Sacktown Mike, by the way, we use coconuts. Really? Yes.
Bill Hackett is saying Townsend.
See, I don't think Townsend was an outside linebacker. He was a defensive end D tackle.
But Townsend, I think, was listed as a linebacker. No?
When they ran a 3-4, he was a defensive end. When they ran a 4-3, he was a defensive tackle.
Hey, it's Jason's favorite kid, Cairo from the Discord.
Mine? You're the one that pisses him off all the time. Cairo, who's your favorite in the Discord? Is it me or is it Duncan? I know True don't like me.
True hates everybody equally.
Yeah. Until he looks in the mirror and then he loves himself.
Yeah, I don't know. Khalil Mack, I think, was a good guess, but I don't think he was with the Raiders long enough, frankly.
Yeah. But I'm looking at it from a linebacker standpoint because the question was who had the most as a linebacker. Greg Townsend has the most sacks total. He's the team leader in sacks historically.
Yeah. For the chat, anybody who wants to answer, go ahead and post. This is the question that was asked: is who leads the Raiders all time, or who is the Raiders all time leader for sacks from the linebacker position?
Mm-hmm. So, and I don't think Townsend was ever. He was always a hands in the dirt guy. Never,
yeah.
So when they ran a 4-3, he played defensive tackle, and when they ran a 3-4, he was defensive end. That's the same with Howie Long. Hendricks was a defensive end outside linebacker.
So Hendricks could be a good.
Could have been, but the problem
my final answer is Hendricks.
All right, we'll go Hendricks. What's the answer, chat? My hands are here. I'm not doing Google. I'm not doing Chat GTP. I will let you guys. If you stump us, you stump us.
I think Mike got us.
Yeah. But Mike also used the same prepositions twice in the same sentence, too. So. Greg Beaker. That, you know what? That's a, God damn you, Sacktown Mike. You got me. You got me, brother.
Yeah. That's way before my time.
Who, Greg Beaker?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 32 now.
You were alive during the Tuck Rule game, weren't you?
During the what?
You were alive during the Tuck Rule game, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
He's the one that recovered the fumble.
Oh, is he? Okay. Yeah.
Greg
I was
Beaker.
in elementary school.
Yep. Yep. I threw things at the TV that night, needless to say. Yes, the stork was great. First jersey I ever bought was Ted Hendricks one, I take it, huh? Sat down. Yeah.
Or Beakert.
Or Beakert? No. I don't think it. See, Sacktown, when the first jersey he bought was, he probably bought it in the early 80s. But back then, they weren't really like game jerseys. They were more of a t-shirt. They were more of a screen print type thing. Couldn't really get a game worn. And a lot of people went with, there was a company, I want to say Spalding, actually had the rights to do like a screen print t-shirt that looked like the jersey, but it really wasn't the jersey. It was just a t-shirt.
Well, closing out, if you guys are interested in ever joining the show in the off season of coming on and talking about your fandom and the Raiders, keep participating in the chat. Have some fun with us. Stick around. We'll hit you up and bring you on, and we'll talk football.
Yeah. Anybody else want us to stay on? Look, 805, he shows up.
He showed up. Much love, 805.
Yeah.
Jason,
I love the guy, man.
You up earlier.
Yeah.
Shouting out your channel.
I got you, went ahead and did the Raider Nation Live. That's another one. Raider Nation Live right here. That's a good channel right there as well to go to for some good content. You got Low Gravy, those guys. Real Talk Raider Nation is 805's channel. But here's his, whatchamacallit. His link is in our description as well tonight. So if you see it, you guys don't, if you don't have it, click it, man. Go check out 805, man. He does a really good job with the film breakdown. I just feel bad this week because probably not a whole lot of beer left in the refrigerator after watching this film. So
I don't know. I couldn't drink during that game. It was I was going to fall asleep.
I had a hard time drinking ice water.
Yeah, I started getting a little parched myself.
Yeah. Then you just get to the point where, I don't know, as a kid, if your parents ever like made you watch like The Partridge Family or Little House on the Prairie or something like that. And it's like, show over yet?
805's got to restock.
Yeah.
Thank you, cousin.
Yeah.
Sacktown didn't buy a jersey until 2003.
Oh, wow.
Or season tickets in 2003. Oh, he didn't buy a jersey until he got season tickets. My bad.
Okay.
English hard.
My English no good. No good.
Yeah.
I started
was his favorite player.
I started buying jerseys. Yeah. Beaker was from the University of Colorado.
You said you started buying jerseys when?
1998, 99 is when I started buying jerseys.
Yeah.
Started out and then started buying later on. I was like, you know what? Instead of going to Pro Sports World out at the mall, remember that place out at the mall, Pro Sports World? You go out to the mall, Pro Sports World, and they have the authentic jerseys, and then they had the cheap jerseys for $35. I was like, I'll take 3 of those.
Yeah. All right. Well, we want to close it out, Jason?
Yeah. So just so you guys know, like we said earlier, tonight's our first run at this. Got a lot more content that we're going to push out, do some more fandom type stuff. Put together. It's our first time, right? I mean, So, what do you think? How do you feel about it, Duncan?
I had fun, and that's the whole point.
Yep.
Keep coming back every week. We're going to keep doing every Tuesday, same time.
Yeah.
Just keep coming back and having some fun, despite how good or bad our Raiders are.
But here's the most important part for us to build our channel. And I'm not doing this to get rich and get famous. I can get famous in other ways, but why do that? We're doing it because of the community that we've developed, and we pick Tuesdays because it kind of keeps that mojo going throughout the week. You know what I mean? Tonight you got the notorious Black Hole podcast with 401 Raider Jeff, Raider Will, the military.
What
the
time
guy
do
from
they
the
start?
military. I believe it's 7:00 Pacific time, PST. So it should be starting here 30 minutes. So get those markers set, and then same with us. Hit that subscribe, hit that like. Descriptions in the bio. I will remind me when we're done, Duncan, to get yours in, because you just put your stream key in tonight. So now I can put yours into the bio section of the YouTube. So if anybody, while you're on YouTube, you go to the description portion in the down below where you have the thumbs down, thumbs up, and you go below it. There's a description of the channel. Just scroll down. You'll see a bunch of links on there. Just click it. We saved you some time. Just click that link, and away you go. You can go right to our channel and subscribe. Hit the like buttons again. I'm going to say it over and over and over again. And ring the bell notification. I apologize for tonight because I forgot to set the parameters on the YouTube side. So our vertical didn't get broadcasted, but our vertical will be broadcasted next time for some of you guys that are on your phones and tablets. Make it easier for you to see it and see the chat and not be done over. And then also next Tuesday, 5:00 Pacific time, 7:00 Central time, which is in your neck of the woods. 8:00 Eastern time. We will be back on live. If you want to be our bro, let's share the show, guys. And until then, we're going to see you guys next week. And we'll see you guys in the chat, Discord, everything else. Let's do this, man. We stand together. Pay attention to the song when we play the song. It'll make you think.
Duncan's got them stacked, silver and black attack. Yeah, we're never looking back. Crowds on fire, feel the nation in the